Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are finally starting to scale up here, and that is fantastic. We are making a play for the L cluster as well. We do see that this Tempest Shoal is heading over into Lyceria, and we are on our way to go defeat it. We have multiple fleets on the way in over there, and we're going to head on in. We're going to bump this up to fast speed, of course. And let's take a quick look down our planets. Not a whole lot there, although we did just lose a scientist, and we should probably work on that. Let's go ahead and get ourselves another one. I don't really care what its trait is. They're just going to be sitting in their ship and assisting research over Ballesta Prime. So that's fantastic. We have a little bit of work going on over here. The Dostican Unity broke off their non-aggression pact. Okay, cool. That was not with us, to be clear. And we're just going to slowly make our way up. We are going to finish off our surveying of terminal egress soon.
We grow ever stronger.
And we did just finish our starbase in Yonox Maw. Now we're going to build our research station here to grab our dark matter. That'll be fine. Kinetic artillery is finishing up. That's great. And we're going to go for alloy nanoplants next. We do need to scale up our economy a little bit more. These guys are indeed heading over into Lyceria. That is fully to be expected.
A station is under attack.
So we're going to head up there. They're probably going to start besieging Lyceria Prime if they
Our starbase is lost.
act the way they have been.
Ever stronger.
We'll see what their actual plan is here. Once they arrive at their destination, which is apparently out over here, they're going to get new orders. And their new orders are... looks like to head to Lyceria Prime. Cool. So we're going to be moving in with these guys. We have another reinforcement fleet behind this. It's not super well put together. Like, it's not done. None of our fleets are done, per se.
We grow ever stronger.
But they are improving. As the voiceover says, we grow ever stronger. We're going to move up to terminal egress. We're making a play for this. So in we go. Now then, we're going to actually send this fleet up to Dubious Abyss. Okay, we're going to hit this. We do expect to win here.
Fleet engaged.
I want to check. Yeah, we do have leadership. Good.
Wish to speak with us.
A research agreement with the new Slurpanor Khanate. This is actually not really in our favor. We're going to decline that. Okay. So you can see we're definitely taking losses, but so are they. They are getting wrecked.
Space charts updated.
And that's beautiful. So that's now done. And the Eliminated Obliterators have insulted us. They're up here. We don't really care too much about them. We're going to immediately... do we not have jump drives in all of our ships here? We do not. Okay. We're going to make our way up to terminal egress the old-fashioned way then. That's fine. And we're going to hit the reinforce fleet button over here. I believe we need more alloys to make that happen. We rebuilt the outpost over there. So that's great. We're building our mining stations over here and then heading up to Imdar. We finished our survey over terminal egress. We're going to build a starbase there. We want to grab this. I'm actually shocked that the AI is going to let us get the L cluster, to be clear. I'm very shocked about that. But they appear to be on track for letting us do that. And I'm completely okay with that. There's no problem there as far as I'm concerned. This tech world requires a planetary administration, as does this frontier planet that I'm thinking about making into an... I was going to say industrial world, but it's actually going to be a forge world. So we'll go ahead and do that for right now. This is an agro world, and that's okay. We'll put in an agriculture district there, although that's getting close to maxed out. This industrial world here, we'll put in an industrial district, obviously. Excellent. And over we head. So we're going to need to get some defenses over in that system as well. And I want to check. No, there's no debris in Lyceria. Okay. That's actually kind of interesting. Battleship hull points would not be awful. And that's what we're going to go for here. Okay. So that sounds good. We are doing much better on our research now. So that's also fantastic. Now, the Kakonin station here could really use an upgrade, but I'm not too concerned about that right now. Archimeters. Okay, cool. So I think from there we'll go for defense grid supercomputers. Excellent. And these guys are going to head up over here. There we go. Terminal egress is now under our control. We're going to start exploring the L cluster cautiously. We don't know what all's up here. We don't know how many fleets of nanites there are. But we do have terminal egress. So that is phenomenal. We know that the Destican just came back from surveying up here with 11%. So we're assuming there are nanites here. We'll see. Our fleets are, of course, on the way, and we are going to continue to reinforce this fleet over here. Of course, to get there, they go from Tribano to Yanax Maw, so it's a little bit of a long journey there, but that's okay. Tracking implants, huh? Okay. That's probably not too important here. We're gonna go for rerolls. We don't have Ministries of Production yet, remember, and so we're gonna try to reroll to get those. No one in Othriga. Okay. That's fascinating. For now, we're going to leave those guys where they're at until these two fleets arrive up there. We're going to continue to hold terminal egress, and then we're going to move to Othriga as soon as we're ready with terminal egress. That will be great. This construction ship needs to continue to work on constructionations, and we're going to go to Dubious Abyss next. Fantastic. Of course, these fleets have quite a bit more that they can work on. And we can actually increase the size of our fleets now, can't we? Up to 200, yeah. So that's the, like, final size of the fleet. Cool. So, what kind of sizes do we want here? We've got a Titan. And then we'll go for, I don't know, maybe like 6 battleships, 12 cruisers, 24 destroyers, and then we can go for 40 corvettes. That seems decent. The bulk of our fleet is in corvettes, and once we have the nanites taken care of, we're going to want to remake our destroyers. They're no longer going to be necessary as picket ships, but for right now, they absolutely are. Zorf 1 is now on the verge of space travel. Cool. Good for them. So terminal egress is coming under our control. Military academies are now done. Let's go for... I mean, I still want to reroll here. We'll go for Xeno Diplomacy. We're not going for a diplomatic game, to be clear. But that's what we'll do for now. Our fleets are arriving in Dubious Abyss, and that means that we're going to send these guys... Okay, so the Destigans are surveying over here nicely, and fairly peacefully, it looks like. We're going to send these guys over to update, and also continue to reinforce the fleet. Yeah, definitely multiple Destican Unity ships over there. I want to be borders closed with them. However, we can't close borders for another 4 years. That's potentially an issue for us. And we're not okay with it, necessarily. For now, we're going to sell off some minerals. There we go. And let's check in with our colonies quick. This tech world requires a specialist job, and before we put anything in, I want to see if there's any exotic resources. There are not, so we'll put in a research lab. This is a forge world here, and of course we'll check for exotic resources, but I don't see any, so we'll get alloy foundries. Excellent. This bureaucratic center here, we're doing okay on our bureaucracies for right now. I'm going to build an alloy foundry because we want one of these on every planet anyway. This tech world here could definitely use another research lab, though, and we'll do that. There's our embassy complex. And, I mean, we can just go for the living state. That'll be fine. Cool. So these guys are going to... Well, they're not going to repair here, but in terminal egress, we are going to want to make this into a defense station. So we're going to start that upgrading. Excellent. Othriga has been researched. So let's head up over this direction, and then we're going to build a starbase in Othriga as soon as we can. We're maxed on food, so we're going to sell some of that off. And we might buy in alloys once we get close to our cap of energy credits. That'll be fine. So the Destican are still belligerent to us, which is hilarious. We're completely okay with that. Yeah, there's no nanites over here either. I have to assume their base is still active, and if I recall correctly, their base is usually in this system. The Defense Grid supercomputer is done. We'll go for improved reactor boosters. Nice and quick, catch up there. I like it. This agro world does actually require amenities, and to that end, we may want to put in something along the lines of a commercial zone. Clerks produce amenities, after all. So we'll do that for now. This mining world requires housing and a job. We'll just put in a mining district. That'll solve both of those for this moment anyway.
Technology secured.
And there's the living state finishing up. Clone armies is actually the cheapest available here. Okay. We'd love to see that Ministry of Production, but it may not be possible with our ethics. I'm not 100% on that. I'm going to produce another construction ship over here in Haven Sky because I'd like to clean up some of this over this way. Feral behavior, huh? On Hotram Prime? Gross.
Secured.
For now, that's not the end of the world, though, and our improved reactor boosters are now done. I guess we could grab survey speed. Sure, that'll get us through this a little bit quicker. Excellent. Okay, so where's that construction ship? It should be out momentarily. Yep, we are 85% done with it. And we're going to need to start taking out locations like these fairly soon. Violence is on the rise on Hotram Prime. Okay, we should take a look at this. So, yeah, this is becoming a problem. We are, for now, going to go ahead and... What is the actual issue here? Just a rowdy bunch. Okay. We're going to launch an anti-crime campaign here, but do we have any enforcers? We don't. We haven't had crime previously. We may have to declare martial law. We'll launch an anti-crime campaign. And, they're killing pops. I got it. This isn't really going to help. But we'll do it. It's not going to solve the problem. We're hoping that the problem kind of goes away on its own. That would be nice. But for now, this is fine. Up in the L cluster, we are finished up in terminal egress and moving to Othriga, and we're continuing to survey in Shashamar. Fantastic.
Intellectual booty.
So the Diamond Suphite is upgrading over here, and we're going to continue pouring alloys into that. We just completed gene banks, and we're going to continue re-rolling over here. I want combat training next, and as far as physics research goes, I guess chemical plants will be fine.
There is new information in the situation
Okay,
log.
the situation on Hotram Prime has spiraled out of control. A staggering number of inhabitants are now infected with whatever is causing this feral deluge, and the colony has started to break down because of it. Something needs to be done, or Hotram Prime will be lost. So we have a special project available, and we will go ahead and do that. Fantastic. So, of course, terminal egress is going to be a defense
Project
station.
done.
The investigation of the strange and wild behavior currently besetting Hotram Prime has been completed. In the vast network of cave tunnels that permeates the planet's crust, an enigmatic fungus has been found. It grows all over the caves, floor, walls, ceiling, and stretches out for thousands of miles. The fungus frequently releases spores that are vented out of the caves for what purpose has not been established, but we know for certain that it causes primitive behavior in our species, releasing primal urges within. We can try to find a useful application of this phenomenon, or we can exterminate the fungus altogether. So, this is airborne. We don't like air, we like water. So we're going to kill the fungus.
Amended.
Excellent. We'll get that done. We do have a lot of upgrades still to go for the Diamond Suphite over here. It is improving, for sure. We do need a Citadel level Titan. Yeah, that is true. We don't have any ability to create Titans right now. Hotram Prime gets the cave shroom veins. Okay, the project to incinerate all cave mushrooms have now been completed, and the primal urge-inducing fungus has been exterminated. As luck would have it, several of the burned out caves turn to have rich mineral veins, which can now be exploited further. Excellent. Okay, so there's that dealt with nicely. We are still working on taking over the L cluster, and we are done over here. We're going to survey over this way, and then we're going to go down like this, and then we're going to backtrack.
Intellectual booty.
Kind of like that. Now, I do expect that somewhere up this way we're going to run into more nanites. That is absolutely expected. We're going to go, I think, for archaeology skill right now. Excellent. This starbase is under construction. I can't believe that we're going to get the L cluster. This is insane. The AI just never went for it. Bonkers. So after we're done here, we're going to jump drive over to Gaping Maw. And then from there, we're going to head into Masim. Yeah, they're guaranteeing. That's fine. Right now, we're still focused on internal events. We will turn external soon, though. This tech world is in need of a research lab. I would put a research institute, but we need a planetary capital for that. Archaeology skill has finished, and we are going to go for, actually the cheapest here is advanced reactor boosters. Hypercoms forums, sure, that's more of a reroll than anything. Civilian fabricators might not be awful if we start running low on consumer goods, which for now we're not. We're definitely going to build our mining and research stations over here, and then we're going to head to Shashamar. Biesta Prime is, of course, a tech world that requires a research lab.
We grow ever stronger.
We'll just go ahead and put that right on in. Okay, so we're now jump driving up to Gaping Maw, and we're going to starbase in Masim. Excellent. We're definitely going to build our research stations here, and then build our mining station here, and then build our starbase in Atraitus. That'll be fine. And so far, we're not really seeing any major issues in the L cluster. So this is beautiful. We've got good situations going on over here. Civilian fabricators are done. Megastructure restoration, huh? We don't really have any megastructures in our territory, though. For now, I think we're going to continue pumping our way through these early techs that we skipped. That'll be fine. And of course, we definitely want to continue working on this. What we need more than anything right now is a better alloy economy, and we are definitely working on that. We're putting in the alloy foundries in locations where we skipped them. There will be one on every single planet when we're done with this, anyway.
Research complete.
There we go. Hypercoms forums finishing up. Once again, we're going to do a reroll here, and we're going to reroll the resort world. That is the fastest one.
Intellectual booty.
Excellent. Mining station output finishing up. Catalytic technician output. This is actually quite important to us. We need to get our alloy output up. That is very, very important. Okay, the Diamond Sufi needs to continue to reinforce, and this does need to be 6, 12, and 24, and 40. There we go. Okay, so we're working on mercantile here. Clerk's producing some trade value. Trade value, market fee. Mercantile is kind of mediocre for us, but we'll just work on that, I guess. That'll be fine. We are over cap on our naval cap and starbase cap, but that doesn't actually matter right now. Artisan output is not super important for us. I think it is the cheapest. We'll just go ahead and take it. We are full on consumer goods, and we're going to sell off a bunch of those. Fantastic. Next up, this bureaucratic center does in fact need an alloy foundry, so we'll put that in. Excellent. How are things going up over here? So far, so good? Yes, we extend our deal with the curators. Absolutely. We never want to drop that deal. We'll go ahead and build our mining and research stations and then head to Nimolan.
Technology secured.
Okay, reverse engineer minor art. Ooh, Ministry of Production. Here it is. Beautiful. Industrial subsidies, forge subsidies, and Ministry of Production. Do it. That's what we've been looking for basically this whole time. This whole series. It finally popped up. Excellent. Next up, I think that we're not going to go for repeatable text just yet. We're going to go for encryption here. And that is fantastic. This generator world here doesn't really, strictly speaking, need to be a generator world anymore. And we're going to switch it over to a forge world and put in an industrial district. We're also going to, on all of our forge worlds, want to put in, as soon as possible, a Ministry of Production. Of course, it's not done researching yet, so that'll take a little bit of time. And we're going to continue reinforcing the Diamond Sufite over here. So that gives us our last battleship. And that's all of our edicts expiring. That's okay. We don't need to re-up those immediately. No worries there. It looks like they cleared out a bunch of the nanites, but didn't actually do anything with this area, which is weird, right? Like, that's really weird. There's our Ministry of Production done. So, next up, we're going to continue going for the cheapest techs that are available. And we are going to go through every single one of our worlds here. This is a tech world that needs a research complex. How are we doing on exotic gases? We're actually going to be negative on those, so that is a concern. And we're looking for not necessarily industrial worlds. This should really be switched from an industrial world to a forge world. And we're going to put in not a research institute, but a Ministry of Production here. Okay, this is an industrial world here. That gets switched to a forge world, and we put in a Ministry of Production. This forge world receives a Ministry of Production, which we actually are lacking volatile motes for. We could buy in some of those. We're not actually making volatile motes right now, so we're going to buy in 1,000 volatile motes. It's a lot. There's no doubt about that, but let's go ahead and do that. And Ministry of Productions, they do have an upkeep of a volatile mote, so we're going to have to keep that in mind. Requires a planetary capital. Never mind, we can't do that here just yet. We do have a gas extraction well here, and we would love to put in a second one. There we go. We do need some volatile motes. We'll keep an eye on that. Our Empire Sprawl has also crept up. That's fine too. Okay. Our repairs are finishing up. You can immediately see our alloy count is going up dramatically right now. Synthetic crystal plants is not really what we need right now, I don't think. I think we're going to go, well, it is the cheapest. We'll just go for it. Get it out of the way. Excellent. We're heading up to Shashamar next. And we're going to build our starbase there.
Space charts updated.
Excellent. So far, we haven't run into any nanites over here. We're negative in consumer goods right now, and that is definitely a little bit of a concern, but this bureaucratic center here could use an admin office, and that'll help us on our Empire Sprawl a little bit. Cool. This bureaucratic center could also use an admin office. That'll be fine. Once again, no nanites here. Someone cleared these out, almost all of them, but didn't bother to take the L cluster.
Technology secured.
That's kind of ridiculous, to be clear. Kind of ridiculous. We'll take that mostly as, well, it's not really a reroll anymore. We're just trying to finish up these super, super basic techs that we skipped over. Get them out of the way, and then we can start working on things like repeatable techs. We're going to need to start clearing out some of these guys over here. That will be soon, but not yet. Okay, there's encryption, and we'll go for, I think, code breaking. Sure. Robot workers, I mean, we don't really need robots, but we'll grab the tech as the cheapest available. Sounds good to me. This tech world requires a job, and so, of course, we put in... Can we put in a research institute here? No. So we're going to put in a research lab. Cool. We are really starting to scale up at this point. 422 alloys. This episode alone, we've virtually doubled our alloy income.
Booty.
That is amazing. I'm very, very pleased about that. Robot workers are done, and we are going to go for next fusion missiles. Get that just out of the way super fast. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to finish taking the L cluster, turn on some of these guys that we've left alone in these areas over here, and we'll get that all cleaned up. And very soon now, we're going to start looking externally. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.